You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. I am Daniel. Clint is doing something.
You asked. Look, I'm onto something here. There's a technical difficulty I'm trying to resolve, Daniel. So don't
How
at me
about
right now.
that?
I'm doing Michael Smith's job. How y'all doing?
well-
This is Locked On Bulldogs here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode, we're bringing back an oldie but a goodie. And Daniel, that is this or that. You can
This
get with
or
this, or you can get with that as the song.
Say it
So
again. You just
opines
love to
and
hear.
waxes poetically. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
We're going to talk about how many natties do you want, or how many years of coaching do you want in segment one. Segment two, we're going to talk about where you want to sit for watching a game, Daniel.
Okay. Fascinating.
And then lastly, we're going to talk about recruiting classes. Would you rather have the best lineage of quarterbacks ever with the last name Manning? Would you rather have him in a kind of a subpar class, or the best class in the world and no Arch Manning? But if you're on this podcast, thanks for following us over on Stitcher or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get podcasts. Follow us there, download, leave us a 5-star rating and review. Here on YouTube, do us the same favor there. Comment, interact with us. We love doing that. So Daniel, let's just jump into fandom. Let's jump into fandom.
Let's be fans. Let's not pretend like we're anything else. Listen, if you've been watching or listening to the show for a while, then you know this or that. You know that it's one of our favorite things to do in the off season. We like to bring it around regularly, and it's quite simple. These are hypothetical scenarios that we're going to throw out to each other, and all we need to do is choose which one we prefer. You can get with this or you can get with that, but you cannot get with both. And so sometimes sacrifices have to be made for the greater good. And we're just going to see how far you and I are willing to go to make those. And so let's jump in with this.
It's really a feat of strength, Daniel. This is much like a Festivus.
Festivus?
Type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Festivus miracle. A lot of Seinfeld on the podcast this week so far. You love to see it. By the way, if you have a this or that you want to submit to us for the off season, we are currently accepting them. We are accepting this or that, and you can send those to us in two different ways. You can send us a message on Twitter, which is found right there at Dawgs Podcast. If you're watching on the video, the audio, I said it out loud for you, or you can send us an email at lockedonbulldogs@gmail.com. That's the email. It's been so long since I've given out the email address that I almost slipped right into Clint and forgot the lockedonbulldogs@gmail.com is the email address. At Dawgs Podcast is the Twitter. Send us your this or that ideas and we'll get them on a future show. If you're wondering what a this or that idea sounds like, it sounds like this. Clint, you can get with this, which is Kirby Smart wins 5 national championships in the next 5 years.
We just gonna roll 5 in a row.
Giving him 6 in a row.
We're gonna roll 6 in a row.
He wins 5 in the next 5 years, giving him 6 for 6. And then he rides off into the sunset and retires. Never coaches a game of football again.
Okay.
Georgia is left to hire the best coach that they can hire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no qualification on who we hire next. Great.
No. Or you can get with that, which is Kirby Smart is guaranteed to coach at the University of Georgia for at least 25 more years. No NFL going to come calling his name. There's no, he's not going to duck out for some other job. He's not going to retire early. He's going to continue to coach for the next 25 years. And you just have to let the chips fall where they may, Clint. Maybe he wins 15 national championships in that 25-year span. Maybe he wins none. But you get Kirby Smart as your head football coach for the next 25 years, at least. What do you take, Clint?
Okay, so this is really this is a fascinating this or that. I love this to no end. This has already got my mind going in 1,000 different directions. You're going to Kirby Smart. If in the next 5 years he wins 6 in a row, he will finish the best college coach of all time, and there will be no refuting that.
He won't
None.
have the most national championships.
It doesn't matter. You roll off 6 in a row, I don't care. In this era of college football,
And then you just walk off. Like that's like you literally haven't lost. Like you've not failed to win a national championship in 7 years. And like that's it. You're just leaving.
Okay. Goes down as the greatest. Our program ascends. Kirby Smart has gotten fired at this point. Everybody. Just there is not a coach left in his wake. He has just done a march through the South that somebody talked about, like a Sherman tank.
Like MJ.
Like MJ,
you could say. I'm not talking about Michael Jordan.
No. Or you can and then after that, we're not gonna have another one like him. You can't do better than that. You're just massive drop off for the next 25 years or for the next 20 years after that. Or you're telling me to be in the hunt for the next 25 years and let this is so painful because as a fan, I want 25 years. I want 25 years of Kirby Smart as a fan because every single year I want to turn on the TV and I want to come into excitement of the second best current head coach in all of college football and soon to be the best coach in college football in a couple of years.
Because he's 71 years old next year.
Correct. Nick
And
Saban
he's never won a national championship in his 70s. Just so that we're all totally clear about how age works.
Give me 25 years, Daniel. I can't give up my fandom. Give me 25 years.
But what a 5 years it would be. Just take this year, Clint. And we came home from Indianapolis, and literally, I don't think my feet hit the ground for a week. I just floating around,
100%.
like just.
Now imagine that times 5, Daniel.
Total euphoria.
Mm-hmm.
And I said many times, there'll never be anything better. Sports, in my life, there will never be anything better than the 2022 national championship game. Because it's been 40 years and I was there and I was with my son and I was with my friends and you can't beat it. But if you win 6 in a row, like imagine the next 6 years that we're on. Like that's a heater, man. Listen, how many national championships total is Dabo going to win? Right?
1, 2.
2? He's won 2, right?
Yeah. 1 or 2 more, maybe. Possibly.
Doubt it.
It's questionable.
How many national championships in his career is Ryan Day going to win? Like, you're talking about, like, you're not guaranteed these. Just because you have a great coach does not mean anything in college football. You're not guaranteed these national championships. So I think you might have to take the 5 years and then you have to take your chances. Because like you said, in 5 years, what's the coaching landscape of college football going to be? There's no more Nick Saban in 5 years. Certainly not after Kirby's won 5 years in a row.
No.
There's no more Nick Saban. And so I think you got to win. I think you got to take your 5 and then take your chances. All right. We got 2 more this or that's. We'll be back to talk about them. But first, Clint's going to tell you all about the fine folks over at Stat Hero.
Stat Hero is a fantastic place. How do we know? Because we've tried it out, and it does 2 things. It takes fantasy sports and betting sports, and it molds them together, just like all of our YouTube comments have been just a euphoric, transcendent elevation of the joy that we all share as Georgia fans, talking about quarterbacks from yesterday. That's what
transcendent, euphoric elevation of the joy. That's how you describe YouTube comments just now.
By the way, so I forget who it was on Twitter. Somebody jumped into somebody had trouble with the legal system and understanding what not being charged and found innocent was. And somebody translated for me. They said, well, if Clint was on the podcast, and they started using 10-cent words, and I loved every single second of it. I felt heard in that moment.
Fantastic.
Daniel. But hey, let's talk about Stat Hero. Stat Hero does a fantastic job taking fantasy and sports betting, putting them together. You make a lineup. They give you a lineup that you try to beat against. And we're talking March Madness. We're talking all the players you know. We're talking this perfect mold that you need to get in on. If you like fantasy, if you like sports betting, you're going to love it. And right now with the excitement of March Madness, it's where you need to be. Head over right now to stathero.com/lockedon and use promo code LOCKEDON for 100% deposit match. That's stathero.com/lockedon. Use promo code LOCKEDON for 100% match. Stathero.com/lockedon. Promo code LOCKEDON. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, Clint. Second this or that.
Okay.
For you. You ready? This one involves Georgia's upcoming season, and it involves where you're going to be sitting for these games. All right. So
that
you can get with this, which is you sit on the 50-yard line of every game this season. And while you do, you watch Georgia in the regular season go 11-1.
Okay.
And you do not get to pick the game that they lose.
Okay.
But they're losing one of those games.
Okay.
And you're in the building for all of them. And then SEC championship game, college football playoff, all of that happens as it happens. Or you can get with that, which is that Georgia goes 12-0 this year in the regular season for a second straight year. And while they go 12-0, you are not in attendance at any of those games.
Okay.
In fact, you are watching those games from your home, which I know you do not hate, Clint.
I was just going to say.
You enjoy watching a game from your home. You make a little soup.
Mm-hmm.
You get a little apps and zerts going.
That's exactly right.
Nice situation. Well, when you make that soup and you get those appetizers, you get those wings out of the fryer, you're going to watch every Georgia football game this year on a 20-inch television.
Oh, no.
At your home.
Oh, no.
And Georgia's going 12-0 in that season.
Okay.
So I ask you, Clint, which one are you going with the team? Or are you going to be a little bit selfish here?
Look, 11-1 still gets you into the SEC championship. 11-1 still gets you in the college football championship, unless it's a big loss to Tennessee and Tennessee runs the table,
to Kentucky or Tennessee or Vanderbilt or any of the other contenders in the SEC East. Look, South Carolina, Missouri. Have I named all the contenders in the SEC East?
No, I think you have. You have. Yeah, I mean, wait. There's one team.
No, there's Tennessee, Kentucky, South Carolina. Missouri and Vanderbilt. Those are the teams that have a chance to challenge Georgia for the East, I think.
No, you're right. I'm sorry. As I hear it again, you're correct.
Yeah.
Look, hot take again. I know I was in the stadium as well, Lucas Oil Stadium, for the national championship. That was something special. That was something different. But I'm here to tell you, my home setup game is on point come game days, y'all.
Not anymore. It's not. You wheeling out a 20-inch Magnavox right now.
I would rather
see the episode of The Office, the dinner party episode where Michael's plasma TV. That's what you're watching on.
Like, that's not 20 inches. That's not 20 inches. That's like
the thing you're watching.
10. Look, I watched the first game last year in the stadium as well. We watched the subsequent games. My family and I are going through an airport. We watched it on my iPhone, just waiting for planes. We paused it. We were all around. We were making such a ruckus in the gate area. People were staring. We didn't care. Didn't care one bit. Give me 12-0 and give me at home, Daniel. Give me 12-0. Give me the guaranteed wins and give me at home all day, every day.
Well, let me say this. I think maybe in a typical season, you're right. Okay. In a season where Florida is going to have a real team, you can't risk the 11-1. But there's no SEC East team that's going undefeated in conference this year. And so you're going to be okay at 11-1. Like you're going to be all right. You're still going to make the SEC title game. And I was at the Clemson game with you last year. Unbelievable time.
Great time.
I had a great time before the game. I had a great time during the game. After the game and the Wendy's drive-thru line, I can't say that I had a great time.
Okay, I'm making an executive producer decision right now. This week, we are doing an off-season recap of what happened at Clemson and other. We're doing it this week.
I can't say I had a great time there, but at least I had a time. I was in the building for the Arkansas game. Electric environment, unbelievable environment. National championship game, obviously, unbelievable environment. But this coming year, Clint, you got week 1 in the Benz versus Dan Lanning and the Oregon Ducks. Ooh, that's a caliente game. What about week 2? Should be just a no-name, doesn't matter. But that's the first game inside Sanford Stadium with the national champion Georgia Bulldogs running out through the tunnel. Clint, you don't think there's going to be a little pregame festivities there? You don't think there's going to be a little video montage that you're going to want to be in the stands to witness? There's going to be a lot going on this year around the Georgia Bulldogs. I'm saying put me in. I'll take the 11-1. Georgia had a loss last year, won the national championship. I think they'll have a loss this year, win the national championship again. I don't care. Give me 11-1.
Hey, we're going to come back and talk about Arch Manning, not Archie. It's Arch Manning. Please remember that. And recruiting classes. But first, Daniel's going to let you know about betonline.net.
BetOnline.net is your online sportsbook expert. That's what I'm going to let you know. And they're also the official sportsbook partner of the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. And heck, that's us, Clint. We love BetOnline because they're easy, they're fast, they're reliable, and they have every single line for every single game that you want. April the 7th is coming soon, Clint. Let me just say it again for the people in the back. Thursday, April the 7th is nigh upon us. It is one of the greater
white
weekends.
Noise as I go to sleep right now, just so we're all.
It is one of the greater weekends of the year. It's Masters weekend. You got to get out there. You got to make those bets. You got to get those head-to-head matchups. You got a little Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka. Who's going to finish better in the little head-to-head matchup? By the way, shout out to another Georgia Bulldog, Kevin Kisner. Had a great showing at the Dell match play this weekend. Dude, there's Georgia Bulldogs all over. What if you just went and sprinkled a little bit on every Georgia Bulldog in the field? That's not a bad way to live your life. All of it happens at BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. Every bet, every prop, every over-under, every money line, every spread, every parlay, everything you need, all at betonline.net. Go there right now. Enter the promo code Locked On. They give you a bonus on your initial deposit, so you get free money with which to bet on the Masters. Maybe you're like, I don't know anything about golf. I don't want to bet on golf because it's just throwing your money away. Well, BetOnline gives you free money if you enter that promo code, so you can bet with confidence and then get paid and cash out. BetOnline, enter the promo code Locked On, your online sportsbook experts and the official sportsbook partner of the Locked On Bulldogs podcast.
All right, this or that, Daniel, has to do with recruiting classes, has to do again with quarterbacks, has to do with Arch Manning coming to Georgia, and what that means or shouldn't mean as it pertains to recruiting classes overall. So here's this or that. You can get with this. Next year, you are guaranteed to have Arch Manning sign at Georgia. He signs, he's on campus.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
I'm not talking about commit, a hard commit. He is in the building, enrolled in classes. Okay. But you're going to fall outside. I'm going to add something to this, or you're going to fall outside the top 10 of recruiting classes overall. Essentially, you get him and then 2 stars.
Outside the top 10?
I'm throwing a big old curve in here. Throwing a Max Fried hammer right at the strike zone.
Y'all. Say more words.
We got better.
You want to talk about little preseason festivity, little championship ring ceremony? Everybody's going to get their rings and then just take one and, I don't know, throw it in the garbage can, see if a raccoon wants to come get it, or I don't know, anyone else who happens to be loyal to Atlanta. Anyone could just come and take the
Who doesn't
ring
want to
that
try to
they
play
wanted it.
people?
No, not a big deal.
You can sign Arch Manning. You're outside the top 10 overall in recruiting class, or I can guarantee you the number 1 overall recruiting class next year, but you do not get Arch Manning.
Okay, I don't need Arch Manning. So I don't I don't even know what this question is about. I don't know. Like, I don't look, what do I actively not want him to come to Georgia because of quote unquote some drama or something?
I can't with
Who are some people? Who are some people? Clint. Who are people? Who are people?
You know, I really don't like I would really hate for somebody to gift me a Maserati because the premium gas these days, I don't want to pay for premium gas.
The only way that you could make this interesting for me,
okay,
is if you said to me, not only does Arch Manning sign,
okay,
not only does he commit, not only does he show up to campus, but you get him for his entire collegiate career.
I stopped short. That's why I only said he's enrolled in classes. I didn't want him to do
because
that. Kid
you
from
get him
Oklahoma
for
who
his entire collegiate career, no transfer.
No transfer and no going early.
I mean, just let me just say this. There are kids who are going to be first-round NFL draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Do you want me to name some of them?
Go ahead.
Trevor Lawrence.
There it is.
Like, he was always going to be a first-round NFL draft pick. Do you know how I know that? Because his last year in Clemson, he wasn't particularly that good.
No. He wasn't the best player
drafted?
on the field at Clemson, Daniel.
No,
Travis
he wasn't the
Etienne
best player in the backfield. There were only 2 of them.
Yep.
And he was the second best.
Yep.
And he still got drafted number 1 overall. He was always going to be a first-round draft pick. Justin Fields the same way. He was always going to be a first-round draft pick. Arch Manning's going to be a first-round draft pick.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he would be the savior of Georgia football, but if you get that kid for his entire collegiate career, that means there's not some controversy. He's not transferring. There's no situation and whatnot. But I don't need him, Clint. I don't know. Like, what if I told you we just kept reloading this defense with just guys like middle linebacker on top of middle linebacker on top of middle linebacker. I know CJ Washington just went down with injury or whatever in spring practice. He's going to be fine. He's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Remember yesterday? It's fine. But you just we just have 3 middle linebackers going to get drafted in the first round of the NFL draft, first 2 rounds of the NFL draft. And we just got Smile Mondon and Xavier Sorey and CJ Washington. And we just got a whole cupboard stocked full of guys because we just keep signing class after class after class. And look, we already got good quarterbacks. There are other good quarterbacks. We're going to get more good quarterbacks.
What if I was
I don't know. I just don't need it.
What if I was to tell you that last year, the top quarterbacks that are going to get drafted come in a month in the first round, and everybody that was head and shoulders leader of the pack for the Heisman vote, best quarterbacks in all of college football, didn't even start for the team at the end of the year and weren't even in the college football playoff and played at Liberty University and Pittsburgh. Daniel.
That's real. The Falcons are going to draft one of them idiots, y'all.
I know.
I know. This is real life.
Caleb did not wind up. Oklahoma wound up changing quarterbacks. South Carolina now gonna start him, and apparently he's gonna save the franchise over there at South Carolina for the Gamecocks. Quarterbacks changing everywhere, changing. Heisman voting gone. The best quarterback, Alabama, just keeps on pumping out. Lost. I mean, guys, I know it's exciting. I know a Manning is thrilling. I know all of that, but give me the number 1. Let's just reload everywhere and just keep doing the same thing that has worked for the last 3 years.
You can only win the national championship without a transcendent talent at quarterback if Kirby Smart's your coach.
That's it.
Period.
And oh wait,
we're wrong. Give me one data point that's not going back to like 2012 and Greg McElroy or something.
College
Yeah.
football playoff. Give me college football playoff.
National championship winning head coach, not named Kirby Smart, who doesn't have a transcendent talent.
Transcendent quarterback or Kirby Smart. That's it.
These are the choices. And we have Kirby Smart.
Kirby.
So awkward for all of you, but it's fine.
It has been locked on Bulldogs here and Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. We will see you guys tomorrow.
See ya.